Hello, good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session, Microsoft Copilot. Let's get started. Agenda. The way I structured this presentation is first we will go through the agenda so that way you will have a roadmap what we are going to discuss. Then we will dig deep into each one of the agenda items. First, we'll start with what is Microsoft Copilot. Then we discuss about the differences between ChatGPT and Copilot, and we'll go on to Copilot for M365 stands for Microsoft 365 architecture. The components I will explain the features and what is the use. Following that slide, we'll go and discuss about Copilot in D365 stands for Dynamics 365 and Power Platforms. Again, we go the same pattern like architecture, features, and benefits. Then we'll go and discuss about the next slide, which is a Copilot Studio, which is nothing but a studio where you can develop your own copilots. I discuss about architecture, the features and the benefits. Then we'll discuss about Copilot for security, its architecture, what are the benefits and features. Then we'll have a last section or slide where I can take questions or comments. If you are watching on YouTube, you can leave the comments. If you are in a session and you can coordinate with your moderator to send me the questions, I can answer right now. Thank you, and let's get started. What is Microsoft Copilot? Say Copilot is a AI companion designed by Microsoft. This enhances the productivity with advanced NLP. NLP stands for natural language processing. This is similar to the ChatGPT. In the next slide, we discuss how it is different. This also ensures strong security and data protection, automates the routine tasks, provides personalized insights, seamless integration with Microsoft 365 apps such as Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and other things. And this supports file uploads and data analysis. It's AI-driven design capabilities. This optimizes the workflows and it boosts your productivity definitely. This is based on the Azure OpenAI. The beauty of this Copilot is this is a wrapper on top of the ChatGPT that is specifically designed for you with the organizational data or your personal data, right? This takes your personal data and it acts like a chat GPT and beyond that. Let's get into the next slide where we discuss about how it is different from ChatGPT. Broadly, we see how Copilot is different from ChatGPT in four sections. We'll start with the primary use. ChatGPT is general purpose AI for conversation, question and answers, and more. Now they added generation of images and voice they added, but this is more on the internet data or the data that you uploaded to the ChatGPT. If you have organizational data such as SharePoint or any information, if you want to inject that information to the ChatGPT, I strongly recommend not to do that because that lives in outside of your organization. Whereas Copilot, this is based on the Microsoft apps. If you are using Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or any of the Microsoft platforms, their business applications like Dynamics 365 or their security Azure AD or Entra or their databases, SQL Server or Power BI for analytics, I strongly suggest you explore Copilot, which I am using right now. It at least improved my productivity 50%. The next category is security. ChatGPT is managed by OpenAI and the contract with you with OpenAI. Currently, there are not many roles with the ChatGPT, whereas Microsoft Copilot is integrated with the Microsoft 365 security model. Like in your organization, if based on the security roles, people will can see the information. Just to give you example, if you have a HR department and a finance department will not see the HR department data. if it is configured correctly, the security roles, and you can interact like how you are interacting with the chat GPT. You can interact with the Copilot to give you the answer. To just give you a quick use case, in my organization, we integrated the HR with the Copilot. I just asked, what are the holidays? Like how you asked the chat GPT, I asked Copilot. It went to my organizational employee handbook or our available holiday list, and it gave me the holiday list. So that's how much powerful the Copilot is. And the data sources, like what I mentioned before, this ChatGPT is trained on the diverse range of internet data. There is some private data like Reddit. They have a tie-up, they pay money, and they get the information. They train it, but your organizational data will not be there. With Copilot, it can train on the organizational data. Assume that you scheduled a holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or some Diwali or Ramadan holidays. You already scheduled an appointment on your Outlook calendar. If you just go to the Copilot and ask, when is my next vacation, it just gives you the dates. So that powerful, it's more on the organizational, your private information is securely available through Copilot and accessible. These two, ChatGPT and Copilot, both are accessible browsers, and they have iOS app and also Android apps. Let's get in detail about what is Copilot in M365. We will look from the architecture spectrum. Then this can be very clear for business users, technical users, and functional users. Here you can see broadly there are 5 steps in the Microsoft 365 architecture. Let's say you know the Microsoft 365 suite, right? There are broadly five or six components that everyone uses: Outlook, PowerPoint, Word, Excel, and others, right? These are the predominant Microsoft 365 suite, right? This is the architecture. This Copilot is how Copilot is used in this Microsoft 365, and how the flow or architecture data goes to the Copilot, and how do you get the response. Let's start with the point number one. When the user prompts are sent to Copilot, assume that you send a prompt saying that, hey, write a, you open the word and type, say that, hey, write a summary. I want to create a new project called course management, right? This Copilot will, in the word, first it will take the user input. That is step number one. Number two, it goes to the plugin or the internet. Then it goes to your Dataverse is a Dynamics 365 database. It searches all your emails or files. Is there any course management information? If not, it uses the AI. This information will be sent to your LLM. It found no information about the course management in the Word document, right? What you are trying to create, a summary of course management, you want to create it. The ALM AI will generate that course management summary, and it sends that information to the Copilot. Copilot will do some post processing and send the response back to the user. So here broadly there are 5 steps, right? A prompt comes to the Copilot. The Copilot goes and searches in the internet using Bing in your Dynamics 365 business suite, and it creates the Microsoft graph. This graph information, why it creates the graph information is it is easy for the LLMs to traverse the graph. So this information will go to the large language models. This large language model didn't find any course management information, so it generates it and sends back the information to the Copilot. Copilot will respond back to the user. Let's look at what are the key features. Word is assists the drafting and editing the text. In the Excel, Copilot can help to analyze the data, suggestions, and in the PowerPoint, you can just ask the Copilot in the PowerPoint to create some 5, 6 slides for the course management. It goes and creates it. And you can open the Outlook. You can say that, hey, write an email to Sai, which is me, and my colleagues attach and summarize about the course management and send an email, it will do that for us. If I have a meeting that I schedule, this is very well used by me in my organization or in my day-to-day work. When I have a meeting with my team members or with the customer, it's a 1 or 2 hour meeting, the co-pilot in the teams will summarize the meeting notes, and it summarizes the action items along with the names. It is we are using it day in day out. This is so much useful. It reduces so much of time for us to write it during the meeting and also make sure that we follow it up, all those things. This teams copilot is, I love this along with other aspects of this M365. The benefits are this enhances the productivity. Definitely my productivity increased by more than 20 to 30% using this Microsoft 365, and provides actionable insights. That is perfectly correct, and customizable to individual user preferences. I went to the Copilot, my Copilot version, and I did some customizations. It is able to honor my preferences and gives the information the way I want to receive after I enter the prompt, in certain structure. So this maintains high. This is highly secure also. So this is just to wrap it up. This Copilot for M365. I am using it personally. This architecturally, you can see how these 5 steps. It's a very simple 5 steps, but there is a lot of effort Microsoft put in and gave us this beautiful Copilot for Microsoft 365. Let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about Copilot for D365, Dynamics 365 on Power Platform. This architecture is similar to the previous architecture, but here the components on the left hand side, you can see uh, there are Dynamics 365. If you guys are not aware, Dynamics 365 is a business suite from Microsoft. Broadly, there are 3 categories, at least for me. The way I look at it is number one is a CRM, customer relationship management. Now it is called as customer engagement. Big module. It has sub modules such as sales, service, and other things. In Dynamics 365, another big module is ERP, in that finance, HR, supply chain management, order processing, bunch of other things are there. And the third category of Dynamics 365, at least for me, is a business central, which is targeted to SMB, that is a small medium businesses. These are the 3 broad Dynamics 365 categories. And Power Platform is a no code, low code platform. Microsoft is leader in that platform, and there are also 4 components to the Power Platform. One is Power Apps, Power Pages, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agent. Previously they used to call, now they are calling it as a Copilot Studio. So there are, you can see there are 3 broad components or categories or modules in Dynamics 365 and 4 modules in Power Platform. Copilot is available in all these 3 things, all these modules of Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. So if your organization already uses this Copilot is also available for these platforms. I strongly recommend you enable it. The sequence is also similar to that. When the user goes to one of these modules and the Copilot is enabled, when they send a prompt to the Copilot, Copilot goes to the first goes to the Bing, or if they have any plugin, they searches that information. Then it goes back to the Copilot and goes to the data, data sources such as Azure, Power Platform, Dataverse, and other things, and it creates a graph, Microsoft Graph, and it sends that information again to the LLM, large language models. These large language models will, you know, algorithms will structure the data in such a way that the co-pilot can read it easily and answer questions like a question and answer using NLP, natural language processing, right? This is at the high level, and here you can see all this information. The co-pilot for your enterprise ERP or CRM is within the boundaries of your organization, so the information is not leaked. The co-pilot is really powerful in this. In my organization we use this. Let's see what we listed out here. See, this sales is part of the Dynamics 365 CRM. you know, we can ask the copilot to summarize the records, meeting preparation. If a salesperson is going for a sales presentation for one of the clients, they can say that, hey, summarize what are the last activities, the top activities. And if it is a existing client, if it is a new client, you can ask the copilot, you can give the client name, say that, hey, XYZ is a client that I'm going for a sales presentation. Give me their information, their summary. It goes to the Bing or in the internet and it searches the information. In your organization, if you have any competitor information, it brings back that information, show that information to the salesperson. They can well prepared for the presentation that they are going to give to the client. On the service side, there are broadly a couple of services. This is also part of the Dynamics 365 CRM or CE, customer service or field service. These are the modules that are available here. If there are customer service, if there are cases, if you want to summarize how is my week looking, how many cases did this person resolve, instead of user going and clicking bunch of links on the web page. Now you can just use the chatbot and prompt it and you can get a response. On the finance side, this is part of the ERP, Copilot Dynamics 365 ERP. You can ask the questions like, hey, how is my monthly sales, or how is it looking in the financial wise for this organizational business unit? How is my P&L looking like? So it gives you the answer with the reference, with the link to a corresponding pages also. So in the Power Platform, if you are using to create a Power Pages or Power App or Power Workflow, this Copilot you can just go and write, hey, create a course management app. This Copilot will go and create a Power App, at least the skeleton, right? These are really powerful and useful tools, especially when integrated with Copilot. I use these tools, Dynamics 365 CRM, I use BC, I use Power Platform, all the components with Copilot. These are very powerful and they save a lot of time, especially with the Copilot integration. And the next one is a Copilot Studio architecture. This Copilot Studio is part of the Power Platform. Previously, Microsoft used to call as a Power Virtual Agent. Now it's rebranded as a Copilot Studio, where you can go and create your own Copilots. Right? In the previous slides, you saw Microsoft created Microsoft M365 Copilot, D365 Copilot. Here you can go and create your own Copilot using Copilot Studio. In our use case that I mentioned before, course management, I can go ahead and create course management Copilot. So the users can go and create, interact with this Copilot, course management Copilot. So let's look at the architecture. Broadly, the architecture you can see here, the foundation component is a Microsoft Dataverse, which is a Power Platform database that is layer above Microsoft SQL. Or back stands for role-based access control. ALM stands for application lifecycle management. Here you can see the channels. This Copilot can be integrated with different channels like Slack, Teams, and broadly this can interact. This Copilot we can interact with, can be configured to interact with the Power Flow. Power Automate is Power Flow. You can using this Power Flow cloud flows. You can connect to different vendors, SAP or any other SaaS or there are around 1,000 plus pre-built data connectors available, SharePoint and all those. You can use those things. This is secured by Microsoft Entra. Microsoft Security is there. It uses Microsoft Bot Service, AI, and Dynamics 365 connectors. You from my course management, if I want to go and check, hey, this course management is connected to how many customer service. Assume that we connect this course management to customer service. How many cases are there for this course management? I can create that also by interacting with this. And DLP is one of the ways organizations protected data loss prevention policies. They define the policies. All these policies can be defined using the Copilot Studio for our Copilot, that is for our course management system, right? To summarize, this Copilot Studio architecture enables, and these features enable us to tailor AI specific to business process, in our case, course management, and this benefits create a unique AI solution. Now, using this Copilot Studio, I can have my own Copilot, right? My own chatbot within no time. This Copilot Studio architecture and the usage is so beautiful that it's a similar to Power Platform. You can go drag and drop, give the knowledge base, it goes through that and it gives the information, and it can be deployed in multi-channels like Teams and say, Salesforce, Slack environment. It's a low code, no code, like I mentioned before. Data integration can be integrated with 1,000 plus connectors, and this uh, Copilot Studio is also one of the crown jewels. Microsoft not only released their AI for the products that it enabled the developers or architects or the businesses to develop their own Copilot. This is such a beautiful feature. I strongly encourage in my organization. We created this Copilot. I strongly encourage you guys explore. If you have any questions, comment or reach out to your moderator. I strongly recommend try this out. If you have any trouble, reach out to me. I can help you guys. And the next one is the Copilot for security architecture. So Microsoft is having bunch of security products. One of the products in the security realm is Microsoft Defender, Microsoft Sentinel, Microsoft Intune, and Microsoft Copilot, and also Microsoft Entra is their umbrella of Azure AD. So these copilots are also the copilot is enabled for the security products, similar to how this copilot is enabled for Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, and this copilot is enabled for security. So let's take a use case. If in my organization, if they want to see how many times this week I logged in, generally the process without the copilot is when one of the security personnel they log into the website of let's say Sentinel, they enter my information and see that information. Using the copilot, now they can go to this Microsoft security copilot and ask the question, say that, hey, this is the Sai Entra ID, how many times last week or this week this guy logged in. That information will be popped out. The way Microsoft does this in the security copilot is a six-step process. So the security personnel logs into the Sentinel. They send a prompt to the security copilot. That is number one. The prompt will be going to their security Microsoft security product repository or set of products. It can be integrated with ServiceNow or any other products. Microsoft pre-built have a lot of connectors to the security. You can connect to all those things. That is number two. This copilot receives the prompt, goes to the security product, gets that information, and sends that information to the LLM, large language models. And this LLM will respond back that information in a way that the copilot can understand and respond back in question and answer or a chatbot kind of a mechanism using NLP, natural language processing. Rather than a question, you can just ask, communicate like how you discuss with your coworker or friend. You can just enter that information to the security copilot. It responds back, say that, hey, so I logged in this week this many times. That information. This is a primary use case I gave. There are a lot of beautiful use cases and very efficient in case of any data security breaches. Instead of going and clicking, logging in bunch of things, if your Copilot security is having enough privileges to access the right amount of data, you can just log into the Copilot and ask the question. You can get a response back within no time in a prompt and a response manner. So this is very powerful. I used it. I strongly recommend exploring this option, especially with your CISO organization or security organization. Okay. So what are the key features of this Copilot? This is a incident summarization. If assume that if there is a data breach, you can just log in, and if you have the right privileges to the security products, you can ask the question. Impact analysis, script analysis, guided response, and these are some of the benefits, right? So enhances the efficiency, improve communication, integrations, and comprehensive visibility. So I'm In this demo of in this presentation, I'm planning to stop here, and I will follow up with another session or another video with the demo of this. How we can go ahead and use the Copilot to create our course management in the Word, and create Excel or PowerPoint, and create a Power Platform solution, and create a Copilot for our Power Platform solution using Copilot Studio. I can demo that in the subsequent videos. Thanks for tuning in, and appreciate your time. Hope you learned something. Looking forward to see you in my next video. Bye for now.